5. First one, level of stress. Stress is the pronunciation of a word or syllable with more force than the surrounding syllable or word. A stressed word or syllable is produced by using more air from the lung. There are four main levels of stress. Primary stress has its syllable pronounced with the weighted peppermint. Secondary stress is a little bit weak than the main stress in the same sound sequence. Half stress has stress but the vowel pronounced with full dictionary vowels. Then unstressed is the weakest from a stress usually at a chore. In English, stressed and unstressed syllables can be distinguished by different in length, pitch, loudness, or vowel qualities.
Not all syllables are the same in a word. Some syllables are long and loud, other syllables are short and quiet, and some syllables are in between. We can differentiate between three types of word stress: primary stress, secondary stress, and unstressed syllables. For example, in the word photograph. Photograph, we have three syllables. Photograph. Pho, the first syllable, carries the primary stress. This is shown with a little line that looks like an apostrophe. To, the second syllable, is unstressed. And our last syllable, graph, carries secondary stress. This is shown with a line looking like a comma. And unstressed syllables usually have a schwa. Photograph. Photograph.
It should be noted that Vietnamese students usually have a problem with realizing the length of stressed vowel and the sound and reduction of unstressed vowel. They may rely with a syllable is stressed and with one is not stressed when a word is written down. However, this doesn't necessarily mean the pronounce. The word stressed is by listening and practicing, not by doing written exercise.
Now we move to the part 2, word stress placement. English word stress is very difficult to predict since there are so many exceptions. It's best to treat stress placements as a property of the individual word to be learned when the word itself is learned. Nevertheless, stress placements of English words tend to fall on the final syllable, the second last syllable, or the third last syllable of the word. Number 1. Stress partner on simple words and derivative words. In most two-syllable nouns and adjectives, the primary stress falls on the first syllables, the penultimate as in happy, clever, present. Words ending in ik, zn, shin have the penultimate stress such as economic, economic, academic, academic, decision, decision. Word ending in c, t, v, g, it take the antepenultimate stress such as democracy, technology, photography. Many suffixes of Latin, Greek, and French take the primary stress on themselves. Therefore, the words that have the following ending typically take the ultimate stress. For example, entertain, volunteer, kitchenette, picturesque. refugee, balloon.
What is word stress? Word stress means that a syllable within a word is more pronounced or highlighted. When a syllable is stressed, it becomes longer, louder, it has higher pitch, and as a result, it is easier for us to hear the syllable. Let's look at some examples. Now, there are many words with only one syllable, and if they carry content, we stress them. For example, make, cat, or low. However, if the word has two or more syllables, we need to find out where the stress is. For example, table, 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 table. Here, the stress is on the first syllable, not the second. And that is word stress.
Typically, an English compound word had two parts, two different words combined together, and the identification or priority stress can be based on its morphological structure. First of all, main stress on the first part. For compound noun, the first part is heavily stressed if their structure are as follows: noun and noun, like armchair; noun and verb in birds walking, birds watching; verb in and noun, like sitting room; verb and noun, like pigs poker. For compound adjective, their combination have the priority stress on the first component. Compound adjective usually written as one word, like carefree; noun and in form. For example, time consuming; pay fee paying; noun and past participle, like health related. Second, main stress on the second part. For compound noun, the second part is primarily stressed in their pattern. Adjective noun, like deep state, fast food, central bank. Adjective and verb in is global warming, central heating, shop learning. Past participle and noun, like lose property, invented markets. For compound adjective, primary stress fall on the second part in the following structure. Noun and adjective is like fast, free, snow, white. Adjective noun.
Rule number 5 for word stress. Compound nouns. Compound nouns, just like the nouns in rule number 1, are usually stressed on the first syllable. Remember, compound nouns are nouns created out of two nouns put together. Let's have a look at some examples. Football. It's not football, but football. Stress on the first syllable. More examples. Boyfriend, girlfriend, car park, post office, toothbrush, chopsticks, headache, lunchtime, and many, many more.
It is very common to use strong form and weak form when speaking in English, because English is a straight-time language. Its main use stress on content words, such as noun and participle verb, while structural words such as helping verb, conjunction, preposition are not straighted. When a word standard aloud as if still learning a single word, it will be. Weak form is usually used in everyday English conversation, especially when speaking fast. Using proper strong form and weak form can help you to speaking English more fluently. Weak form is usually used in everyday English conversation, especially when speaking fast. But there are many situations you have to speak in strong form for the following. The first is stand at the end of sentence. Example, where are you from? The second is in the contrast situation. Example, he likes her but does like him. The third is stress on opposite preposition. Example, I travel to and from London a lot. And the fourth is stress on the purpose of the meaning. Example, you must get a university gratification.
Sentence stress can be defined as a prominent with one or more words in a sentence are pronounced as opposites with other words in the same sentence. It can be said that sentence stress in the music or spoken language as is what gives English rhythm or beat. Normally, content words are stressed and grammatical or function words are unstressed. English has stressed time rhythm, which means the stressed syllables tend to occur at relatively regular intervals whether they are separated by unstressed syllables or not. The stressed time rhythm theory states that the time duration from each stressed syllable to the next tends to be the same, irrespective of the number of intervening unstressed syllables. Thus, the basic rule for sentence stress can be summarized as follows. Content words are stressed, structured words are unstressed. The time between stressed words is always the same. It is, however, noted that grammatical words are sometimes stressed for emphasis by placing emphasis on certain words. The speaker shows his or her point of view or important piece of information he or she wants to convey. In this case, some words are more important and then are more pronounced than in the other because they convey the new information. So, the contrast or just draw a special attention.
Now, what is sentence stress? It means stress on some words in a sentence. Sometimes we also use the word emphasis and syllables. So we stress or we emphasize some syllables in a sentence because it's not the full word. Within the word, it is a specific syllable that we stress. Now, and we stress content words. This is really important to remember. Content words are words that carry meaning and information. Now, and we stress those content words in comparison to grammatical words, which we usually don't stress. Those remain unstressed in English. This is a very simplified rule, and I'm going to go into more details in this video and also the videos following. So, what types of sentence stress do we have in English? First of all, we have tonic stress. tonic, you might think gin and tonic, but no, this has nothing to do with gin and tonic. Tonic stress. Number 2, emphatic stress. Number 3, contrastive stress. And the last one, number 4, new information stress.